Hello, Taurus. Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead, Taurus. How are you? Thank you so much for clicking here. I do appreciate you, Taurus. So, happy birthday to you, by the way, first and foremost. And then, secondly, we have some oracles we're going to look at. And so, as per usual, we're going to look at the oracles. We're going to lay those down for the overall energy for the week, Taurus, the week ahead. Always reading for the week ahead, right? Whether you get this today, tomorrow, or next year. And once we get these oracles down, we're going to throw some tarot at it. Find out what's going on for you, Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, my bull gang. I hope you're well. Let's find out what's going on for Taurus, please. Taurus. Tell me about Taurus. All right, there it is. We've got the Panther Spirit, reclaim your power, and then we've got wasp. Sometimes life stings. So Taurus, I feel like the energy that's here for you today is saying that you lost at something, or you feel as though it should have been yours and it wasn't. You had to give it up. It feels like something here. Maybe you thought you were at a new beginning with card number 64, which is a 10, breaks down to a 1. You thought you were at the beginning of something, but it says sometimes life stings, and it feels like something was over before it began, is what it feels like. We do have reclaim your power. So I feel like this in the week ahead is the week where you reclaim your power. And card number 44 is telling me that, first of all, stability. 4s are about stability, but also a 4 and 4 is 8. And that's about doing some self-care. So it's about the self-mastery, right? So self-care, self-mastery, however you're looking at it here. We do have 64 and then we have 44. So we have 4, 4, 4. I want to say that I feel like you are probably in this place where you're just realizing now that things aren't going to work out the way you want them to, but I feel like you're almost at a place here, Taurus, where you're like, okay, well, it is what it is. Like, that's what it feels like here. Bottom of the deck, we have overcome any obstacles. So it definitely does feel like it could be relationship related. It could be you weren't chosen for the job. It could be that somebody gave someone else grandma's Chesterfield or drawers, and you wanted like wardrobe, and you wanted that, and you can't have it because someone else in the family has it. But it feels like whatever it was, it really stung. It's a realization that stung, and you're like, okay, well, it is what it is. Like, that's what it feels like. It feels like you're at this point here where you're going to reclaim your power again. I feel like you've got your eye on something in the future, and so I think that you should keep your eye on whatever the current prize is for you, whether that is taking care of the self, or getting up, dusting yourself off and finding a new relationship, or applying for the next job. Tell me about Taurus, please. We have caution, the traffic cone, but the traffic cone is card number 32, which is a 5. So we are talking about feeling in lack, about maybe you didn't see all the cautionary signs. Maybe you're just figuring out now that it's not working out, and maybe you didn't see all the cautionary signs if it's a relationship for you. It does feel like, I really do feel like it's divine intervention. Like, it feels like you're redirected away from something for a reason. And because things needed to be dealt with caution, right? When we see traffic cones, it's because, stay away from them. You don't want to run off the road. You don't want to fall into the big hole. And I feel like the universe was kind of cautioning you. And I don't think, maybe you didn't see that, or maybe you ignored the cautionary flags or the traffic cones, but it feels like it was over before it started. And so trust in divine intervention, I'm going to say. Divine redirection. I feel like you will understand at some point what was going on. We do have the feather messages, but it's card number 7, and to me 7s are all about heaven and divine intervention. So I feel like the reason that you're feeling in lack is because of divine intervention. And I feel like it was supposed to happen the way that it did. We have card number 50, which breaks down to a 5. And then we have card number 32, which is a 5. And so it does feel like that something is going to quickly change here. I think this is sort of a little bit of a pit stop for you, Taurus. I don't think you're going to dwell on it. It's like it was never yours to have, or it was over before it started. Maybe you started communicating with somebody and then it just dropped off to nothing. It could be that. If you felt like you met somebody new. Ooh, tell me about Taurus. Maybe I should just go get that. Hang on a sec here. All right. Oh, we've got regret. Okay, I felt like, sometimes I feel like I'm supposed to die for it, because sometimes people say, wait, what happened to that card that flew off the desk? and I sometimes don't go jumping and getting them, but this one, it needed for you to see it. So I feel like you might be in a little bit of regret. It says, I know that I cannot change the past. And that's the truth, right? So there's something here that's gone on that you're kind of regretful. Some of you might be dealing with it in sort of a lighter side, like a humor maybe. And I feel like that's just the way that you are trying to be courageous. It says, I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. So I feel like some of you, maybe that's your way. Try and make a joke of it. Get over it sort of in a humorous way. It's what it feels like. Let's talk about tarot. Tell me about Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Look, the sale is over, but if you're interested still in a private reads are open if you're interested. And please go to the pinned comment, because I'm still doing face-to-face reads. Let's find out what's going on for Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Taurus. What else do we need to know in terms of tarot? Tell me about Taurus. We have the Knight of Cups. Go slow. I'm going to say, if it's going to take some time for you to digest or repair, I feel like you're supposed to slowly move into some sort of a stable, restabilizing of a pattern here. I feel like this probably for some of you was romantically connected here, but it looks like, this person has their chess pieces. Like, it looks like the queen has fallen down. I'm going to say, is it the queen? Yeah, it does look like it could be the queen. So feminine or masculine, of course. Queen, it could be the Queen of Cups, and it feels like it is about emotions. And so it's time for you to reclaim your power. I feel like it was part of the plan, I'm going to say. It's just the way the pieces fell. And I feel like it happened that way, Taurus, as a divine redirection. We do have the Eight of Wands in the reverse. So I feel like you're sort of going into a time of things being quiet or in a lull. I want to say that things don't feel like they're moving forward, but I feel like this redirection was for a reason. Tell me about regret. We're going to go back and clarify, by the way. Tell me about regret for Taurus. We've got the High Priestess. Okay, so it feels like it's an energy of, I should have listened to my gut. I think that you already knew this. You already knew it wasn't going to work, or it wasn't yours, or you weren't going to be chosen for the job, or whatever this case's scenario is for you. I think you already knew it. And I think that you had gotten your hopes up, and maybe you're sort of in this energy of regret. I should have listened to my intuition instead of getting all hyped up about it and having an expectation, right? Because expectations are hard when we expect it. I mean, there's a difference between expectation and manifestation, you understand, right? Like, the manifestation is about, I already have it, I know that it's mine, but it's also an intuitive feeling. It's not just empty hopes. It's an intuitive feeling, and it's acting as though it's already yours. And so whatever happened here, I feel like it was in your gut. You wanted it, like through the words you were saying, through the words you were writing, you wanted it. You were telling the universe, I want it. But I think that you knew that it wasn't yours. Tell me about the Knight of Cups, please. We've got the Strength card. We've got the Ace of Swords, and we've got the Eight of Cups. I think that probably what would have cleared all of this up is a simple conversation, which is like the follow-up to the employer asking, did you already give the job away? Or it was speaking to the person that I feel that maybe you had just started feeling like there were feelings beginning. It feels as though the Ace of Swords tells me that you didn't want to face your fears of saying something, being truthful and honest, so you held back. Instead, there was sort of a period or lull in time where we were disconnected emotionally. And so the emotional disconnection, or the walking away, or the detachment of it, I feel is how you're going to reclaim your power. The Eight of Cups, right? You've realized that the 8 cups isn't where you want to be, that you would have been settling for something. I think that you're having a realization in the week ahead that there's a realization that this is something I would have been settling for instead of the thing that I want, because it's only 8 cups and the 2 cups are still out there, right? The 2 cups, which is love, is still out there for you. I feel like you merely just, I'm looking at the Queen falling over on in the Knight of Cups card here, and I feel like this is just a hiccup, I want to say, but you are going to go through a place where you're going to mull it over a little bit, because the 8 of Wands is in the reverse, which means that things have slowed down. And so it's the pulling away of energy or the detachment that you're feeling right now. So either that person detached from you and isn't speaking with you, isn't texting you, it's quiet now, and you sort of understand why it's quiet. But I think that you just weren't willing to accept it, if that makes sense. Tell me about the 8 of Wands in the reverse, please. I think like it was supposed to be that way, and maybe you just didn't see the signs. We do have the 8 of Swords. Yeah, I feel like instead of being up in your head, feeling like your hands are tied, there's nothing you can do. Should I connect with them? Shouldn't I connect them? Should I chase? Should I not chase? I feel like this is the 8 of Swords energy. We've got the 9 of Swords, and then it escalates from the 8 to the 9, and all of a sudden you're like feeling like unwanted or rejected, or those things that go through your mind when you're in the 8 of Swords, feeling like, I'm the Empress. I'm not going to chase, but it doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't make me feel good at all. Tell me more. And we do have the Death card. So this is merely a pit stop, I feel, because of the 2 5s. When I see more than 1 5 in a reading, it's something that's changing quickly. And we do have the Death card. And so it feels like, the Death card is bringing relief, or it's bringing stability, because it's card number 13, but 1 and 3 is a 4. So it feels like it's, I feel like in the midweek next week, possibly, it's like this is kind of like a blow to the ego almost. And, or this place of, maybe you don't have an ego. Like maybe it's just feeling rejected. I feel like that's a place where you're not going to be for very long, because the Death card is here. Transformation is here, and things are going to start moving forward again, but you've got to be able to get out of this regret. I really feel like this situation, Taurus, made you feel as though you couldn't trust your intuition. And so maybe it damaged that part of, I thought I knew this time, and it just wasn't it, right? Tell me about this High Priestess, please. We've got the 3 of Swords. I thought I knew. I didn't think that this time was the time I was going to get my heart broken. It almost feels like you're blaming yourself, Taurus. I don't want you to blame yourself. It just was a situation that wasn't supposed to be, quite simply. I feel like there were cautionary signs that were being ignored, and I feel like you just wanted to move forward here. I feel like the Chariot is telling me that you are going to move forward. You're going to get back in balance here, but I feel like you feel a little bit rocked off of your center of intuition. I was going to say center of gravity, but maybe it's your gravitational intuition. It does feel like that. And I want to say that maybe you pull your energy back and stay within yourself for a little bit here. Chariot energy is Cancer, and that's mostly under the surface. I feel like you're going to keep your the energy of feeling heartbroken. You're going to keep it under the surface. You're probably just going to be silent in your regret here. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles. But look, you're resilient, right? The 8 of Pentacles is about working on the self. It's working really hard on something. It's about the self-mastery. It's like you will continue to grow. And the thing is that all of these lessons that we get are necessary. We can't avoid the pitfalls. Like, we will have traffic cones on the way that are trying to flag us and saying, no, this isn't the one. But sometimes the one that we think isn't, like we think it is because they're beautiful, or because we feel good energy with them. But I feel like the universe is really telling you that this wasn't the one anyway. So don't feel rejected. Try not to feel rejected or sad. I'm just going to put 3 cards down here, Taurus, because I plan on extending this one a little bit. If you want to look at the extension, it is in my membership area. So if you look at the bottom of this video, there is a join button. It will be in the pinned comment as well if you want to go there. I'm going to start putting some of the some of the extensions over there in the membership area. What are we looking at in the membership area? We're looking at the Queen of Swords. So I feel like it's resilience. Oh, I like it. We're looking at resilience coming up here. We've got the Queen of Swords getting her balance again, standing up for herself and saying, you know what, it is what it is. I'm just going to try and level out my energy again. The World card is here. Look, I feel like it's an intellectual moment of realization or a milestone where you're like, I'm not going to ignore these red flags again. We're going to talk about that. What were the red flags and how could you have seen it better, or what could you have done when you saw the red flags? But we do have the World card and we have the Five of Cups. So it does feel like somebody here is feeling really rejected, is what it feels like. And the Five of Cups, it makes me feel like you're feeling really regretful, right? This is regretful that you even got involved. We're going to talk about this a little bit for those of you who really want to talk about how you can get over the situation or not feel bad about yourself, because I don't think it was as much about you as it was about the situation just was not for you. We do have the Hanged Man. So we have perspective here. We're going to talk about the perspective that you might gain should you decide that 555, this was just a speed bump, something that was supposed to come into your life, supposed to teach you a lesson and exit your life quickly. We're going to talk more about this because after the World card is here, when the World card is here, the accomplishment of the milestone or the lesson learned, then you get to go on a new adventure. And we're going to talk about what the new adventure is going from here. So Taurus, thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you. If you want to see the extended, please come on into the membership area. I'm going to go there right now. You guys take care. Love y'all. I'll be back because I'm always back. Take care. Bye-bye.